For the 6th review of Christmas, I present to you Galeforce by Link GD, Minecraft Videos 2 by Deathlord, Misfire by Galaxies, Sedulous by Samifying, Backbeat Revenge by Darwin, and Supersonic Wave by SD Slayer. The way I'm going to open up this review might piss some people off, but I do feel that this is the best statement I can make to open this review, alright? Galeforce is if Tidal Wave was good. That is what this level is, and I mean that in every sense of the word. This level has everything good that Tidal Wave provides, the unique theming, the fun gameplay, and it leaves behind everything that's bad about Tidal Wave. The block designs are actually full and look really good. The color choices don't clash and look really good. Tidal Wave had a pretty awful color scheme, in my opinion. While I don't necessarily think there is such thing as a bad color combo, to make a color combo work, you have to use good shading, especially when it's a really oddball set of colors, like if you were to combine, like, purple and orange. To make that work, you have to be really good at picking good shades, right? And unfortunately, Tidal Wave just didn't really do that well, in my opinion. You had this ugly, bright, sandy yellow combined with this very dull blue, which gave it a contrast that just did not look good. Galeforce, on the other hand, has pretty coherent color scheming, and whenever it does combine colors, they look good in combination with each other. Take a look at how these greens and blues complement each other. It looks really elegant and really nice. It almost feels like water and grass, which I think is actually what Link was probably going for here. I personally think that the color scheming of this is amazing. It also does not have Tidal Wave's issue of the repeating backgrounds. One of my big complaints about Tidal Wave is that the background was just the same thing throughout the entire level. This level has unique backgrounds and they all look good. It does reuse a background one time, but all it is it just uses the beginning of the level's background as the ending of the level's background. That's fine. It's not overdone and it's brief and it's just the beginning and end, and I feel like it allows this level to kind of feel like it's ending where it started, which is really nice. Enough comparing it to Tidal Wave, let's just talk about it by itself. The decoration of this level is genuinely phenomenal, having a nature theme, and my only real complaint with the deco is that I think the red part is extremely out of place and doesn't really fit. Even then, I'm okay with it because it doesn't look that bad. I think if there's anything I have to point out that I dislike about this level, it's probably the lack of Pokemon theming. I know that sounds really weird and random, but basically this level uses a Pokemon song. Specifically, it uses Zinnia's theme from Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and I just feel like not playing into that with your theming is a little bit of a missed opportunity. You could have incorporated the whole natural disaster thing that Ruby and Sapphire has going on, you know? Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire's whole thing is that the enemy team is trying to set off a volcano or flood the earth, depending on which game you're playing, and this level could have had a cool theming around, like, a volcano, or around a flood, or, you know, it could have just incorporated all three, and it could have had stuff involving the sky and water and fire and all that. It feels like this level kind of resembles that with its color scheme, but even then, it's at a base level of just, it's got blue, green, and red. And the red feels forced, so I don't know, I just feel like the theming could have been better. I feel like you could have easily incorporated this whole idea of the 3 natural disasters, you know? At the same time, that's a minor complaint, and all I really can ask for is that the level looks good and plays well, and from what I've heard, it does. Obviously, I can't play this, so I have no idea. It's a bit too hard for me. All that being said, is there room to improve? Sure. But I still think that this is an amazing level, and especially considering this is coming right off of Link making Tidal Wave as one of their first levels, it shows a lot of promise, and I do think that Galeforce is an extremely good level. I want to end this review off by pointing one thing out. Galeforce is an extremely underrated level. Not a lot of people bring this level up, and as a result, it hasn't gotten a rate. I feel like this level deserves more attention. That's part of the reason I picked it for the 12 reviews of Christmas. I think that if I could get this level a bit more of a push so that maybe it gets rated, I'd be very happy. So, you know, maybe try to, you know, if you're a moderator watching this video or something, try to send it. I think that this level's absolutely worthy of a rate, and yeah, all I really know is that whatever happens with this level, whether it does or doesn't get rated, I personally believe that this level is an 8 out of 10.